Was something lost for millennia suddenly re-emerging from the dust? Could one archaeological excavation bring us closer to one of the greatest mysteries in religious history? The resting place of the Ark of the Covenant and the Tabernacle where God's presence was said to dwell? In this journey, we travel to ancient Shiloh, the hill country of Ephraim, where a team of archaeologists claim to have uncovered structures, artifacts, and sacrificial remains that align remarkably with the biblical description of the tabernacle. Some believe these finds may reshape how we view scripture and history. Prophecy watchers ask, is something stirring beneath our feet? Join us in this unfolding investigation through time, faith, and excavation. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe now and hit the notification bell. You won't want to miss the next episodes as this story evolves. From the moment we dig, each layer of soil can speak. In Shiloh, that soil is telling a story of worship, sacrifice, tragedy, and mystery. Ancient Shiloh occupies a unique place in Israelite history. According to the Old Testament, Shiloh became the center of worship after the Israelites entered Canaan. Joshua set up the tabernacle there, and the people gathered around it for generations. Scholars estimate that Shiloh functioned as a religious hub for about 3 centuries. Yet over time, its significance faded. The Ark was moved to Jerusalem, eventually lost from public record. The site was abandoned and largely forgotten until now. Archaeological surveys confirm Shiloh was inhabited from the Middle Bronze Age, around 1750 BCE, through the Iron Age and beyond. Early excavations and later work uncovered walls, pottery, cultic remains, and deposits of sacrificial bones. Pieces of a puzzle yet unsolved. Yet the tabernacle itself, the tent of meeting, the holiest of Israelite worship, left no intact remains. It was built of impermanent materials, skins, wood, and fabric. Over time, it would degrade, leaving behind only the supporting cultural context. This is where modern archaeology must listen between the lines, not by finding a whole tent, but by recognizing a pattern. Stones, storage rooms, bones, and orientation that together echo the biblical blueprint. At the heart of the recent discoveries is a building unearthed in Tel Shiloh, dated to Iron Age I, roughly 1200 to 1000 BCE. The excavation, led by Dr. Scott Stripling, claims the structure's orientation, proportions, and internal division mirror the biblical specifications of the tabernacle. The building lies east-west, and within it is an internal ratio of 2:1, exactly as the tabernacle's length-to-width ratio described in Exodus 26. The length shall be double the breadth. Furthermore, a significant internal dividing wall suggests a partition that might correspond to the boundary between the holy place and the Holy of Holies, the inner sanctum where the ark was housed according to tradition. The team also claims to have found the city gate where, according to 1 Samuel 4, Eli the high priest died upon hearing news of the ark's capture. If these interpretations hold, this structure may represent the ultimate tent of meeting, the Mishkan, the focal point of Israelite worship in Shiloh. Excavators also discovered over 100,000 animal bones in the vicinity of the structure, mostly sheep, goats, and cattle. Critically, many of these bones are from the right side of the animals, consistent with Levitical instructions that the right thigh or portion was given to the priests, as mentioned in Leviticus 7 verse 32. This skew suggests that sacrificial rituals may have been centralized here, with priestly portions separated systematically. Dr. Stripling suggests that since Shiloh was a priestly center, such a bias makes sense. Other cultic artifacts further support the idea. Altar horns, 3 stone horns found, likely corners of altars used in sacrificial ceremonies, as altars in Israelite worship commonly had horns at their corners. Storage rooms and large jars around the perimeter were interpreted as spaces to store tithe goods such as grain, figs, and barley. Stripling's team found these rooms unusually widespread, more so than at other contemporary sites. Decorative symbols such as clay pomegranates found near the site add to the pattern. Pomegranates were common motifs in Israelite cultic contexts and even appear on the high priest's garments, as described in Exodus. Together, these finds build a plausible case that this site was not just a settlement, but a ritual center with worship, offerings, priests, storage, and patterning. In one sector, archaeologists uncovered a destructive burn layer circa 1075 BCE. This timing corresponds roughly with the biblical narrative of the ark's capture by the Philistines and the subsequent decline of Shiloh's role in central worship. Many scholars believe that after the ark was lost, the site lost its prestige and religious function. Hence, that layer may mark a dramatic turning point, a physical scar in the earth reflecting a turning point in Israel's religious history. To approach these findings responsibly, we must step carefully between enthusiasm and skepticism. Critics point out that a 2-to-1 ratio orientation, even the distribution of bones, could be coincidental or influenced by later activity. Others argue that alternative sites for the tabernacle have been proposed. The plain south of the Tel or a separate plateau are among them. Some maintain that the tabernacle's materials, skins, curtains, and poles, degrade too rapidly, leaving little durable trace, so matching cultural features is the best archaeology can hope for. As one excavation veteran once quipped, "Where there are two archaeologists, there are three opinions." Dr. Stripling himself has been cautious. He presents a hypothesis grounded in accumulated evidence, not a definitive proclamation. Moreover, as recently as months ago, a large team of archaeologists working in Israel was evacuated through Egypt on the final day of their dig, an example of the unpredictable conditions under which field archaeology proceeds. So, while the case is powerful, it remains open, a hypothesis waiting for confirmation, challenge, or refinement. Given that this discovery intersects sacred history, it's important to consider how Islamic tradition views the ark and its symbolism, without presuming to override religious sensitivities. In the Quran, the ark, tablet, is referenced in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 248. A sign of his authority is that there shall come to you the ark, tablet, and in its sakina, tranquility, from your Lord, and relics left by the family of Moses and the family of Aaron, carried by angels. In this is a sign for you if you are believers. Some classical Muslim commentators interpret sakina here as divine tranquility, peace from God. The relics might refer to items linked to Moses and Aaron preserved in the Arkansas. Thus, while the Quran doesn't delve into the precise physical location of the ark, it confirms its symbolic importance. The Bible and Quran share overlap in the notion that the ark was a sign, a vessel of divine proximity, and a symbol of covenant. Because Islamic tradition cautions against absolute claims about hidden relics or prophecy, we frame this excavation not as proof of religious culmination but as an intriguing crossroad of faith, text, and archaeology. Could these discoveries be a sign of something deeper unfolding? Indeed, prophecy watchers may point to this moment as part of a larger tapestry, where physical evidence, religious symbolism, and current events intersect. But instead of claiming certainty, we ask, is prophecy unfolding today? Scholars, believers, and skeptics all watch. Some believe that when artifacts echo scripture, they stir renewed faith. Others caution against drawing direct lines from burying trenches to divine chronology. Throughout history, relics and ruins have swayed belief. But the deeper invitation is to reflect, to search, to ask, where does history meet faith? Where does text meet reality? If you also believe that history can speak, that archaeology can illuminate the paths of prophets, then this excavation at Shiloh is more than dusty stone. It is part of a larger conversation between past and present, belief and evidence, question and humility. What's next? Further excavation seasons may dig deeper, widen the area, uncover additional artifacts. Radiocarbon dating, stratigraphic study, and comparative analysis with contemporaneous sites will test the hypothesis. Peer review, publication, and scholarly debate will refine or challenge assumptions. Should the site hold, new episodes will report fresh finds, controversies, and reinterpretations. So again, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell, and join us in the next chapters. Because this story of faith, revelation, and excavation is far from over. Imagine standing in that structure, in the dim light of ancient dust, breathing where priests once moved, where sacrifices were made, where people reached upward toward the divine. Would you feel just history or something more? Perhaps both. Archaeology may not always bring certainty, but it brings grounding. It offers a bridge from the pages of text to the stones beneath our feet. In Shiloh, that bridge may be forming. As you reflect, Ponder this question. If prophecy, faith, and evidence converge, where would you stand? Thank you for joining this exploration. If this story moved you, please comment your thoughts, share it with friends, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Until our next journey beneath the earth, may your curiosity remain insatiable, your faith humble, and your questions bold.